Aloha. Joining us today is a young man who has been a part of the Vulcans men's soccer team since fall 2020 and has played in 25 total games over 3 seasons through injuries and all. He has been a superstar in the classroom and will graduate next spring, but the job is not finished yet as he has been a member of the NCAA Division II Student Athlete Advisory Committee, otherwise known as SAAC, and has represented not only Hawai'i Hilo but the Pacific West Conference on the national level. Ladies and gentlemen, it's David Mayser.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time.
You wrapped up your career. Like I said, you're from Munich, Germany. That's 7,000 miles away. I guess we'll start there, but just what was kind of your journey from there to getting here in 2020?
Yeah, so I would say, I was approaching my high school degree in 2019. And, you start thinking like what you want to do after that. And since in Germany or in Europe in general, the athletics is completely disconnected to the school. So after high school, you basically have to decide if you want to go if you want to try go pro in your sport, if you want to keep the academic side of things going. So you either go to college or you try going pro. And for me, like both of these options were not really the best option, I guess. It was always the combination of the two. And the only place that really offers that is the United States with like their college athletic experience. So yeah, I would say maybe a year before my high school degree, I already had in mind that I want to go to the US and play soccer over here. And then I finished my degree in 2019 and then had 1 year basically for the whole recruiting process until 2020, the fall, when I came out here. And yeah, then COVID happened, so it kind of made it more interesting, a little bit more difficult because, many schools struggled with finances. Many schools didn't come out to see you play live, which is obviously very important in a sport like soccer. So the recruiting process was kind of like an up and down, but I was very fortunate to talk to Coach Paul, who was the coach at this time, and he offered me a scholarship. And, I had a couple other offers on the line, but in the end it didn't work out with them, and I felt UHH was the best fit for me. Because it's so different to Munich and to Germany, it's like I don't even try to compare those two places to each other, which is good. I don't get homesick because there's no comparison. But I'm very grateful to be here and to be fortunate enough to say that I was here for almost 4 years, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the most positive topic you want to talk about, but you've had some injuries. Just what was kind of that up and down journey as far as having to deal with injuries?
Yeah, after my second year here at UHH, I was playing in Germany over the summer, and unfortunately, it was only a couple days before I was supposed to come back out here. I tore my ACL in my right knee, and with that, both of meniscus, MCL, almost my whole knee was pretty much torn apart. Yeah, I made the decision to stay home for a year to do online school. And to get my rehab and to get all my surgeries back in Germany, just because I felt with the support system I have there, with my family and the medical attention I get there, I felt for myself, that's the better way to go. But I'm very fortunate that, my coach and also athletic director, Pat, was content with that. And I was back home, did my rehab over there, and it all went pretty smooth. So I was back after a year.
I mean, only a year sitting out. I feel like, we saw this year, it still kind of took a little, halfway through the season before you were able to, play. That being your, only major injury, just what was that kind of process like as far as, not just physically, just, trying to get back up to strength, but mentally, coming this year and, getting back in live action and just,
yeah.
I don't know, what was that like?
So a lot of things changed really fast, and I felt, overall, I had a really strong mindset during that process. One thing, if you're back home, away from the team, that also takes away a lot of motivation because you don't see your teammates every day. You don't see them train, see them play. Yeah, you pretty much, you're on the journey alone. You have to figure out alone how you're gonna manage it, how you're gonna come back. And overall, I would say, I struggled here and there, which is normal. But I felt like my rehab process was very smooth, and I would say it all went pretty good looking back, and could have been a lot worse.
You guys reached double-digit wins, I think only the third time in the program's history. And you've come through an interesting time, right? I mean, not just the COVID part, but also technically through 3 different head coaches now. We went from practicing at other fields and having to go at whatever 6 a.m. and not really having a home field, I should say. Just how can you speak upon, I guess, what your journey, I guess, here at Hawaii Hilo has been as far as the soccer goes?
So like you said, I think, we came a long way. We used to warm up when not even the sun was up yet. So, and now we have probably one of the best facilities in the Pac West. We have a nice field. We have a good team, a good environment here that we created over the last few years. And yeah, I'm just happy to be part of that change, I guess, because I feel like, we worked hard this season, but I feel like it wouldn't be possible without the last few years, We all prepared for that, It was a journey, definitely, and we kept improving. And now this season, it just showed, that we are up there. We can compete against, the Cali schools. We can, we almost made it to the tournament. So that's a pretty big deal. So I'm very happy to be part of that group. And even though for me personally, it was hard to get back on the field this semester, would have wished I would have had more playing time, would have been healthy right from the beginning and didn't struggle with my knee. But in the end, I rather take that season than a season where I play every game 90 minutes but lose, because I'm part of something bigger, part of something that, that succeeds and, like you said, creates a legacy for future generations.
Since spring 2022, you've been the representative on the Division II National SAAC, which is Student Athlete Advisory Committee, right?
Correct.
You've represented not only UH Hilo, but the Pac West Conference as part of the whole, I think, was it 23 conferences?
23.
In Division II. Just kind of talk me through that, I guess. Was that something you always knew about or you wanted to get involved with, or is that just an opportunity you jumped at, and how did that kind of elevate into being on the national level?
I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the NCAA Student Athlete Leadership Forum in 2021 in the fall. And, there I really got to know what it means to be on SAAC, how important it is, what, everybody on SAAC is doing. Because basically, we talk about college athletics and, there are people who decide what's going on, what are the rules. But in the end, it's always the student athlete, because without the student athletes, there wouldn't be college athletics. Every student athlete is basically the reason why we have the NCAA, why we compete. So National SAAC is, in my opinion, it's very important to have a voice on the national level as a student athlete, because, like I said, in the end, all the decisions that, are being made for us or against us. And if it's not in favor of us, it might benefit other people. But in the end, college athletics should be always about the student athletes. So being on National SAAC is, it's a great honor for sure, but it's also a big responsibility to represent. Yeah, we as a group, National SAAC, we are 26 people, 23 conferences, and then we have 3 at-large representatives. And we represent over 120,000 student athletes. So it's definitely a big responsibility, but it's great to be a part of that, and to have a voice. Important people ask, people who make up the rules want to hear our opinion on things, and they want to see what student athletes think about NIL, what student athletes think about the revenue shared model that's kind of up in the air right now. So it's very important, and I just want to encourage everybody to be involved in SAAC, because in the end it not only matters for you right now, but it especially will matter for the generations to come, for the maybe you're a senior right now, and the freshman that is on your team will feel the impact that your decisions have, that you make right now. So it's a pretty big deal, and I'm super happy to be part of it. And yeah.
in 4 or 5 months about here. You're going to be wrapping up your bachelor's in communication here at Hawai'i Hilo. I don't know what your plans are as far as soccer goes. I guess on both sides of the coin, just what's kind of your near future plans as you head towards graduation already?
So, if you have a student visa, you can work in the US for a year after graduation, which is an option for me. But I would say my plan A is definitely going to grad school over here in the US, which I'm right now in the process of applying to different grad programs, figure out what's the best school for me. And yeah, like I said, if that doesn't work out, I feel like I'm gonna try get some experience in terms of internships here in the US, maybe in Hawaii, maybe in different states, to just get experience in the US, because I feel like it's gonna be very different from the life, the professional career, and the life in Germany or in Europe. And after that, I don't really know. I pretty much go wherever it takes me and see what's going to happen in the future. I'm very open to different paths, I would say. But I'm also not stressed about it. I know it's gonna work out, and I'm gonna find a place where I grow as a person, I grow as a human being, and yeah, we'll see where it takes me.